Hi everyone, it's Maria here from pepperlyrose.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd like to thank all my new subscribers for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. And I'd also like to apologise for not getting a video up any sooner. We have had renovations at home and I just have not had the chance to sit down and make any videos. However, a need has arisen where I actually do have to make a card for a friend of my daughter's who's in hospital at the moment getting some tests done. She's been a little bit unwell, so we wanted to send her a card to wish her well, and I thought I'd share that process with you today so you can see what I'll make for her, and I'll actually be sending it out to her. So we'll be doing this card from start to finish, and I'll be using today a couple of new stamps. The first one I'll be using is Sunshine Sayings. This is a great stamp set which also bundles with the Sunshine Wishes dies, and I'll show you the dies. Today it's got a heart, a butterfly, a flower, and the dies that say, let's see, hope, love, congrats, and sunshine. Today we'll be using the flower as well as the love die, so I'll just get that out and have that ready. And also today we will be using the diagonal stripes background stamp. I love this. We're going to also use the watercolor wash background stamp, as well as the Timeless Textures stamp sets, and these are all in the current annual catalogue. So we'll get started, and hopefully I'll do this very quickly for you so I don't bore you to death. First and foremost, I've got a piece of real red cardstock, and it's an A6 cut in half, and so I'm just going to, I've already pre-scored it and pre-cut it just to save some time, so I'm just going to burnish that score line for my card base. So I'll just grab my bone folder and burnish that so it becomes an A6 size card, which is easy to mail. So I've done that already, and I'll be using today as well Misty tool. I'm not sure if you've heard of this, or if you have, I'm a big convert to it now. This is a stamping tool which makes basically stamping a lot more precise and quick. What I have done is I've gotten some quilter's grid. I got this from, where was it? It was from Spotlight, and I've just put some contact paper so we can actually stamp on that surface, and it's just used to align your stamps. So I'll be using this tool today for all my stamping, and I'll also be using this chamois. It's called a Hydro PVA chamois. They call it an absorber in the States. Here in Australia, it's you can find this at Kmart in like the automobile section, and it's used to clean, you know, your boats and things. But this is fabulous because it cleans your stamps without the use of chemicals. But also with the Misty tool, you can't use anything harsh because it will just get rid of the grids, and it will deteriorate the acrylic that's used on this. So this is fantastic. I love this. So I'll be using this today to clean my stamps. So you'll see this, it's stained, but it actually does its job very, very well. So I'll keep it in its packet because it needs to keep moist. So I'll just pop that over here. So what I'll grab for now is I'll take off this foam insert. I'll just grab a piece of, I've got this old grid paper here that comes with the Misty, and I'm going to get a piece of Whisper White which measures, let me see, at about 5 1/4 inches high by 3 1/4 inches wide, and I'll be grabbing my watercolor wash background stamp, and I'll just be putting that, I might scoot this over a little bit and up one, I think. Hang on a second. Just pop that up and put that there. So I position my stamp over the that area there. And I'll just put the Misty tool to grab the stamp. And so far so good, it's grabbed the stamp, yay. So I'll scoot that up just a little. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some soft sky ink, but I want it to be a very subtle colour. So what I'll be doing is I'll just be applying the ink onto my stamp. Ink, ink, ink. Make sure it's inked evenly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp off. So what you'll see me do is I'll be stamping on this grid paper just briefly so I can stamp off just very lightly. And then I'll put this back on the grid paper and I'm just going to scoot it up one square up and on the side. And just it doesn't have to be even because this background stamp is it's just basically a background stamp. I just wanted it to be subtle, so I'll just pop that over. And stuck on, so I'll just take that off now. And it stamped the background beautifully. Love that. So I'll just grab my chamois and I'll wipe that down. And I'll give it a good clean with my stamping mist later on. So I'll just pop that to the side. And what else I'll be doing is I want to stamp the sentiment. Now I'll be using the sending and the hugs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line those up. And I've got like a 3/4 inch strip of Whisper White paper. So I'll just pop that paper down to the side there and I'll just grab a one of my grids and I'm just going to put it over the top of the paper so I can position it in a way that I would like. So what I'll do is I'll just pop this on here for now. Oops. And what I'll do is I'll carefully lift up my grid with the stamps. And what I will do is from underneath is try and line up the words so they're nice and straight. Okay. So that's pretty straight to me. So I'll carefully, it's a bit tricky with but it works really well with photopolymer as well. So I'll just pop the and hugs for now down. I'll just do one at a time and then that way I get it precise. And I'll just grab my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And that's stuck now to the excellent. I can actually tell from here too, from this side, this has some grids. I'm not sure if you can see that with the reflections, but there's some grids etched into this. So you can actually try and position them. I'll try and position them that way because it makes it easier. So I'm sorry if you see my head in the shot, but I'm trying to get it as precise as possible. And I'll put the sending there too. Let's see if I've got that the right way up. Everything's a bit upside down, but okay. So I've just positioned them there. We won't need that grid paper, that grid anymore. Okay, I've got my my strip of white Whisper White paper, and I'm just going to ink up the sending and hugs. Okay, and now I'll just stamp over the top. And the beauty of the Misty is if you miss it, you can always go back and stamp over it again with precision. So that's what sold me on the Misty. I wish Stampin' Up would sell it, but you can buy this at your local craft store or online, whoever stocks the Misty. It's been a wonderful tool for me, so I love it. Okay, So I've cleaned that up. Pop that over here. And so that's the sending and hugs. What I'll be doing is I'll be cutting those out in a minute. So I'll leave that here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a strip of, where is it? Of like, what is it, 1/2 inch of cardstock. And I'm going to use the Diagonal Stripes background stamp with this. I find the Misty tool is really, really helpful when it comes to stamping the background. So what I'll do is I'll just put that onto the side there, right to the corner. Pop the lid on. Oh, didn't take. Oh, didn't do it again. Oh dear, hang on a second. Don't know why. It's a bit cool, so I'm just going to wipe it on myself very quickly and I'll do it again. That's better. Okay. Now I'm just going to put my little strip there of 1/2 inch strip of cardstock, and I'm just going to ink up just this area here very quickly. Oh, stamp that. Ink that well, and if I haven't inked it well, it doesn't matter, I can go back and stamp it again. So let's see how that turned out. Oh, oh well, good opportunity for me to just rub it in. Oh. Oh, that didn't turn out very well. But what I want to use it for is just like as an accent piece on the side. So might have to do it again on the other side. Yay! I'll grab another piece of cardstock. Actually, I'll do it right on the corner, so then that way I have it left over for other pieces too. So let's do that again. The best thing to do really is to have it right on the edge, but this stamp doesn't go right to the edge of the left-hand side here for me, so I'll do it again. And if I miss a spot, I'll just ink it up and do it again. So you'll see how precise this is. So I'll just do this very quickly. Just give it a good rub over the top. Okay, and there's spots that have been missed, so now I'm just going to do that again. And you'll see how precise this tool is. I just absolutely love it. Okay, let's do it again. Right to the side. Stamp, stamp, stamp. And that's pretty good, because all I really want is just a small strip right on the side there. So that turned out really well. So I'm going to put that to the side. I'll just give this stamp a quick clean. See how it stains? But it does a beautiful job of cleaning without chemicals. So, but I will give it a spritz afterwards too. So this is just to use with my Misty tool so I don't get ink and things all over it. So I'll clean that later. Alrighty, so what we'll do now is we'll put this to the side, and I'm going to do some die cutting. So I'll bring up my Big Shot. And I'll be using the new platform. So we need the bottom one here, which is for embossing, the thin adapter die, a cutting plate, and I'm going to put on the love on here. So as you can see, I've used this gold foil before, and I'm just using up my scraps as much as I can. So you'll see this in action now, and we'll run that through, put the cutting plate and then run that through. And it comes off, can I just say, this new thin adapter die does such a good job. Oh, come off. And that's the love. See, it comes out beautifully. And next I'm going to get some scrap of real red cardstock. And I'm just going to cut out this flower. So just bear with me for 1 second and I'll just grab that. It's coming. Oh. Oh. Okay. Got some real red cardstock right here. Pop that on there. And then I'll just grab my, just pop that on there and I'll just grab my cutting plate and I'll run that through the Big Shot. And you only have to do it once. And we won't need this anymore. And I'll just take out all of the little bits and pieces. And let me say, with the thin adapter die, it comes out really, really easily with the new platform. There we go, that came out so quick it wasn't funny. Okay, so we'll start putting the card together. And I'll just grab my base. And I've got a piece of Daffodil Delight just to layer on top of that. So I'll grab my fast fuse and I'll just quickly apply some fast fuse. And it is quite sticky, guys, just as a warning, but it's a very good adhesive, okay? And I'll just pop that on the top. Now, I'm going to bring in my my trimmer, and I'm just going to trim this page up. So I'll just trim that up. Oops. Trim that up again, that was a bit crooked. Okay, so what I'm going to cut is a 1/4 inch strip. I'll make it 1/2 inch. I'll make it 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's that one. So I'll put the my trimmer away. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a really thin layer of fast fuse just on the side. I'll use that side. I'll use this side up here. Okay. So I'll just do a quick. Okay, and with this I'm going to layer it up. Just use this as a guide as well, just so that it all looks uniform. And lovely. Just as an accent piece. Oh. And can I say, guys, when it sticks down, it really does stick down. So just pop that over here. Okay. And then I'll just grab my paper snips and I'll just trim off the excess like this and like this. So it adds a nice accent on the side. So I'll just apply some fast fuse This stuff is very sticky, so I don't want it on my table. So just be really careful not to get it on the side anywhere. And one more. Okay. So now I'll just layer that on. So I'll just layer this on and just get a feel for everything here. So, this is my sending love and hugs. So what I want to do is I'm just going to cut them up. And I don't care that it's not even looking because I want it to look like, you know, so I'll try and do as straight as possible. Just put love, sending love. Okay, go there. Just trim that off with the scissors. I don't care that it's not exactly straight. Sending love and hugs. I think that looks great there. So what I'll grab is my my tweezers. Oh, before I do that, yes, before I do that, I'm going to just put some splatters of, no splatters actually. I'm just going to leave it as is. No, actually I will put some splatters. Sorry guys, just the last minute I'm just trying to decide what to do. I'm going to use these teeny tiny splatters in the Timeless Textures stamp set, which is in our current catalogue. I'll just grab a block very quickly and I'll pop that on. And you don't need a very big block, just your little block. Okay, and now I'm just going to pop that on like that. Oops. Because of the weather, it's very cold, so my blocks aren't sticking very well, so I'll just bear with me. Stick on. Stick on. That's it. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just do a couple of splatters in red, but I'm going to stamp off the red so it's not so intense. So I'll use the back of the piece that I'm going to be using on the inside, so no one's going to know. So like that, and then I'll just do splatter, and then like that, and splatter, and splatter, and like that, and splatter. I think that's enough. So now what I'll be doing is I will be grabbing my PVA glue and my tweezers, and I'm just going to position the die cut flower. Oh, what's this? Glue. Off that goes. So now it's just dab, 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 dab. Is it gunked up? Yep, it's gunked up. Just bear with me for 1 minute and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I just had to unclog my glue. Somehow it had clogged up. And I don't know how, but some glue managed to get off and now it made like a little plastic cap, which is funny. Anywho, I'll just, excuse me, I'll just start applying little blobs of glue onto my die cut. Apply, apply, apply. Just little spots, nothing major if you can see. Just little dabs. And I'm going to now pop that on here. And any bits that are sticking up, I'll just apply a little bit of glue. Just a little bit, not too much, so otherwise it seeps out. And oh, one more here. Okay, start again there and we'll put it on. Okay, it's looking good. Stick that right down. And now I'm just going to grab the love. The sending first. I'll just lay it out quickly. Sending love and hugs. So I don't mind if that's a bit of an angle. So I'll do sending love and hugs. So it looks like that. Okay, so I'll put the love down. So again, I'll just use my glue. You can use your Tombow and all that sort of stuff. So there's lots of adhesives you can use. So put love. And grab that, and I'll just put the sending, stick it down with glue. I want to keep it flat so it's easy to mail. And do it like this. Okay. And like that. So that's the front part done. So as you can see. Okay, and now we're going to decorate the inside very, very quickly. I'm just going to grab my Sunshine Sayings stamp set again, and I'm just going to use this little flower on the side there as an accent. So I'll just grab that one, and I'm going to grab a block to stamp with. And just pop that on there. Stick block, please stick. Okay. And I'll just grab a piece of paper. So I'll use my grid paper again from my Misty, and I'll grab my Real Red. I've got the older style ink pad, so I've got to put a little bit of elbow into it, but it's all good. And I just want to stamp like off the side there. So it looks like that. Isn't that cute? And I might do another one up the top too. And I'll just do another one here. Okay, and that's it with that one. And I'll just grab my fast fuse. It's a little bit sticky there. Just grab my fast fuse and do that. Oh, didn't. Grab the card. And now just layer it on. And there you have it. A beautiful card showcasing Sunshine Sayings, timeless textures, the diagonal stripes, and the watercolour wash stamp sets, as well as the Sunshine Sayings, Sunshine Wishes dies, just to make a card that you can think of someone. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. Bye.